the Addams family. In 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna try and beat this bird. Actually, let's get a couple extra one-ups, just for fun. Okay. I can't tell you how good this looks on an RGB monitor. It's coming through in composite for you guys, because that's just the way it's got to be. But bam. Not off to the races here. Let's try again. Yeah, you're right, Happy. 20% faster. All right, so we're done there. We're gonna head over to the kitchen and to the freezer for the next heart container. I couldn't tell you how happy I was to discover that the A1000 could output both RGB and NTSC, or sorry, yeah, RGB and composite at the same time. Because being able to stream from the actual hardware is a dream. Especially when you're doing any kind of a speed run and lag becomes an issue. There is one bad thing, and that is, and it has to do with the way that the Rejuvenator board works. When you are, the Rejuvenator will run PAL. It'll run your Amiga in PAL mode, but the downside is that composite no longer outputs in color. And I'm not exactly sure why, other than I've read online that all the PAL A1000s did not output color in composite. They were like the A500. And so that is the one downside. I didn't notice it because I've always run, since I've gotten the Rejuvenator back, I've always run it through RGB. Again, I can't, in a game like this where precise controls are so important, being able to have no lag whatsoever is going to make my time really be better, I think. Man, I need to, like, remember when I'm speedrunning to not keep doing that. This is one of the trickier jumps to make in this level. It's really sort of pixel perfect. So if you just, there we go. Man. One thing that's kind of interesting about this game is that the music doesn't start right away. It fades in. No school today, pets. School is canceled due to flooding. And apparently we were having some hot water issues at school too. Although I don't know exactly what, that was the excuse that the superintendent gave. So pets, I don't know if you saw my post on Discord, but it turns out we were both right. PAL and A1000s did not output in color where NTSC ones did. And so I noticed that when I had my 1000 switched into PAL mode. Dang it. Yeah, well, you know how it is. 99% of all Amiga talk on the internet is from Europe. So one always has to bear that in mind. If it wasn't for Amiga Loves Forum, it would be 100%. Sort of weird here. I think that this is a bug. We're still getting the boss music in this room, which you shouldn't have because we're no longer facing a boss. I would say over 300. Most of those came when I was in high school. To wait for that little fly to fly back over here so I can jump on its head and get up to this platform. So we're just chilling out, waiting for that fly. Oh, and I missed the fly. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Come on. I think you can kind of bait them into appearing by doing that. There we go. And that whole thing was just to get here. This allows us to beat this stage more quickly. Oh, and I forgot to hit the one. I forgot to advance the time there. So that time is going to be off, but our caterpillar time should be... Oh, it was something to do, Happy. It was something that I did while I was sitting in my basement and listen to music. You know, it just I've never been a good passive listener of music. I've always, you know, I like to be playing a game or doing something. I'm trying to get better at that, by the way. I'm trying to just sit and really make a concerted effort to listen to music these days. But I've always been somebody that's liked to have, you know, put a game on and put a record on. This is going to be difficult to do with just one heart. Yep. Yeah, that's right, Happy. That's really what it all comes down to. The halcyon days of youth. So here we are at the Caterpillar. Caterpillar is the easiest boss in the game to beat. All you have to do is just stay over here in the corner and jump when the heads are not in your way. So I did just beat the centipede. So, there we go. All right, now we're back on time here. All right, and we're gaining more lives too. All right, so what we do now is we actually exit the mansion. Or we don't exit the mansion, but we go to the continue screen. And we pick up a couple more of these guys. And then continue on our way. Now we're gonna go back to the tree. Yeah, even the, you know, if it wasn't for the music going faster, the actual gameplay, the actual, like, Gomez play is, doesn't seem to be that much different. Whenever you go into a new room in this game, you always want to fly as much as you can. Oh, shoot. See, I really needed that rabbit. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Will it respawn? No. There we go. Now we're back up where we need to be. Okay. And now we are into the Jester's Tomb. Jester's Crypt. I don't know what it's called. Something like that. Hey, Picard. So with this new route, which I'm just demonstrating for the first time today, I really think we're going to cut off some major time, provided that I can get through the hardest room of the game, which is in this area of the game. You'll know it when you see it. Ah. So this is the toughest room in the game. This is the #1 time suck. Because all these jumps are pixel perfect. I will say that the speed of Gomez, the 20% extra doesn't make a difference here. I'm just as good or just as bad as I ever was. All right, made it through the first half of the room. Now let's just finish it off here. All right, that's got to be a new record. Of course, this is the advantage of playing on real hardware, is zero lag. And with pixel perfect jumps like that, you've got to have zero lag. Thank you, Picard. I appreciate it, man. I spent, I had the day off school today, so I spent the beginning part of the day ripping a whole bunch of Blu-rays, because I am cutting all the piracy out of my life, except for video games. Retro games, like the Addams Family, games that there's no way that you can possibly acquire through legal means, they still fall under my umbrella of sailing the high seas. But for stuff that you can still buy that's still in print, I'm trying to turn over a new leaf here. And so there's a couple TV series that I really enjoy that my wife and I watch over and over again. And so I bought a whole bunch of Blu-ray series, and so I've been ripping these, which has been an interesting adventure. Because I just wasn't sure, I'd never really ripped a lot of Blu-rays before. And what I discovered is that even with a pretty fast CPU, if you want that X265 compression, which you really do because the file sizes of Blu-rays can be huge, depending on the size of your media server, I'm encoding in pretty much real time. Which I'm not used to doing, encoding DVDs and CDs and other things, so. But I got the first one season of Grimm all done and put up on the Plex server. I got one season of Scooby-Doo put up on the Plex server, so I'm doing pretty good. The original Scooby-Doo series from 1969, which is my favorite. I'm also planning on, I'm watching the price of the next generation Blu-rays. And once they get down to their normal sale price, I will be picking those up too, because I wanted to do a rewatch of next gen for a long time. How are we doing with lives here? Okay, 8 lives. We are getting close, my friends, to the dragon. You know, I continue to be amazed at this level design. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I've paid the money to obtain a physical copy of the thing. And in these cases so far, I've actually gone one step further and bought new copies of everything. Which, you know, you don't technically have to do, but for these Blu-ray sets, the new price and the used price is about the same. And my whole thing is that, you know, I want to, as somebody that makes content, I feel like it's a little disingenuous to consume other people's content without giving them some recompense. And I mean, this has nothing to do with a greater moral stance towards anybody else, but just trying to square things with my own self, if you know what I mean. And I'll tell you though that the advent of Plex has made this whole thing worth doing, because the way that these Blu-rays come packaged, they come in it looks like a very fat DVD case or Blu-ray case, but there's little mini spindles. So there's 30 discs inside this thing, and you know, I think we're all, as society, we're past the point of you know, putting discs into players every 4 episodes or whatever. That's good. I was really happy that I was able to do that with one life. All right, so the dragon is done. Guys, we are on scale to demolish the former best time, because we are halfway through the game already. Okay, I thought he was going to respawn in a place where I could more easily jump up there. So now we're just going to retrace our steps. Actually, we don't even have to do this. We're going to do this and this. And then just go. No, I think, yeah, that's a one and done deal. We'll go continue. And now we go to the oven, which is the most annoying board of the game. It's not the most difficult, but it is the one where you tend to lose the most lives because everything hurts you. Love a little fishman. All right, here we are in the oven. And the thing that I hate about it is you've got to take it slow and steady. Ah, I forgot to hit the block. Or maybe I hit the wrong one, I don't know. Shoot. Let's see, they put me here, so I knew it. I knew I'd have to go back. We are filming Amigos tonight. It's a special Thursday edition. And so, if you want to tune in and hear us talk about Rainbow Islands, you're most welcome. Hey, Adam. That's right. Hey, when the boat's away from school, the boat's gonna play at home. Man, that sounded lame. Also, referring to myself as the boat is quite possibly one of the dumbest things also. All right, if you're just tuning in, like Adam is, we are in the midst of a world record breaking pace for the Addams family. This is the NTSC version of the game, which runs 20% faster than the PAL version. Playing this on the A1000 with a Rejuvenator. The Rejuvenator grants powers of extra RAM, extra chip RAM, or extra chip RAM. Then I've got 8 megs of fast RAM through the Parciero II. So it is a it's double trouble in the land of the Amiga. And I'm glad to be streaming from it. Talked earlier about how the PAL output is black and white through composite, because this thing's got a PAL NTSC switch, a physical switch that Jason Warren's installed. And so I can only play NTSC games in color, but I was like, hey, what better time to check out, come on, let me up here, please. The Addams family in NTSC, because I knew that there was an NTSC version. And we try and do a little world record attempt. Once we get through the oven stage, it's pretty much smooth sailing. There really aren't that many more difficult rooms in the game until we get to the very last stage. Some of those can be a little bit hairy because you don't get any checkpoints, but my last couple of attempts at this game, I've done pretty well there, so shoot. I hate this room. This is a not one of my favorites. Actually, there's a couple rooms in here. This is one, and there's one more that are unnecessarily tricky. Another good thing about this setup, this is, I know you can't really see it at all, but I've got a little setup here to where I can not only stream the Amiga while it being hooked up through this Amiga monitor, which I'm not really sure what the Amiga branded monitor is in terms of Commodore labels, like if it's some sort of like prototypical 1802, or what you might call it. Adam, you're the Commodore Chronicles guy. If you're still around, maybe you can fill me in on what its actual name is. But anyway, I've got this Amiga branded monitor that can take both a composite and a RGB signal. And so I've actually got things hooked up to where I can hook up my NES through this and then also run that through the RetroTink, so I can do some original hardware streaming on the NES as well, which is very exciting for me because you know what a big Nintendo fanboy I am. All right, we're here at the Dragon, I think. Nope, we're here at one of the rooms that I hate. Yeah, we're gonna take a death probably. No, all right. Yeah, this is just look at all these guys. They just. Your second PC screen broke this month, man. I hate to hear that, Picard. You know, it's funny. I've been lucky. I don't recall ever having a computer monitor go out on me. I've always got sick of the monitor and given it away or donated it or sold it before it's gone out on me. And I run monitors hard too, like much harder than I probably should in terms of leaving them on all the time and stuff like that. Oh, 12 years is a pretty good deal. I don't think I've ever kept a monitor that long, aside from, you know, retro CRTs. Ah, I should have made that jump. Come on. All right. I knew it would come to me if I jumped, but I wasn't sure if it would line up or not. I think the really annoying room is still to come. The oven is just forever. When I was playing Pugsley Scavenger Hunt, which on the NES, which is a remake of the 16-bit game for 8-bit machines, they cut out most of the oven. And I think they realized that it just went on for too long. Okay, here we are. Dragonius. Shoot. Well. Oh, that sucked. All right. Now we go to the games room, which is my favorite room in the game. Love the games room. Man, I'm getting some weird artifacting going on here. There is some weirdness that goes on, and it's probably a combination of the fact that this is an A1000 that's running a Rejuvenator, doing things that an A1000 was never meant to do, plus your normal shenanigans with WHD load. I will say hats off to Joe the Zombie for building this Rejuvenator board for me, and Jason Warnes from Retro Rewind for installing it for me at Boatfest last year. It's really performed like a champ, minor issues aside. All right. Now it is time to go rescue Gomez, or not Gomez, Fester. This is the library. Another one of my favorite rooms. I saved my favorites for last. You can rescue the family members in any order, but this is my preferred order. Man, this is a time waster that I was not expecting. Okay. Again, the enemy design in this game is just exquisite. I mean, I just can't think of another platformer that has this many well-defined, well-animated enemies. Just now noticing I'm not very well lit. Sorry about that. Well, you know, Super Mario World is a better game. It's a better designed game. It's a much bigger game. It's much more ambitious. But when I think about the variety of enemies, it's a good question. I don't know if the Mario games have more enemies that are better animated. I mean, Mario World in particular. That's an excellent question, Happy. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Now, of course, this game stands on the shoulders of Super Mario World. And as far as play mechanics go, it's not even close. I mean, Mario World, you've got the cape, you've got all the Yoshi stuff. That's not even close. I'm just talking about the actual enemies, the variety of enemies, and the well-drawnness of the enemies, which is a horrible phrase. See, I shouldn't have got hit there. Okay. Thank goodness there's some hearts there. Yeah, I mean, if you play this game and then go back and play Super Mario World, there's a lot of things I think this game does better. Now, I'm talking particularly, I guess, maybe this game has no backgrounds. This game has like 3 audio tracks. So there's in most categories it falls short. Now the Super Nintendo version has, I think, twice as many audio tracks and it has backgrounds, but it still falls short of Super Mario World. But I'm telling you, in terms of the enemies, this game is pretty good. Pretty good. I always end up taking a lot of damage through this section because there's just so many of these guys. I actually came out of that better than I thought I would. All right, here we are in the library. Oh, man. That's interesting that you say that. What do you mean by design deaths, Adam? That's an interesting phrase. Ah! I guess it wouldn't have mattered anyway. For some reason. Oh yeah. I think that you're right, Adam. I think that there's a lot of places in this game that are you have to take damage. Or if there's a way to not take damage, I don't know what it is. Now, if you watch speedrunners, they're able to do a lot of stuff because there is a in the console versions you can get two of this pairs of sneakers. It essentially like triples your speed or something, and they can do things like jump off enemies and get various amounts of height and speed going that they can bypass a lot of the stuff that would normally trip up your regular player, your casual player. The Amiga version, you can't get double speed, and there's no sword. And they're able to keep, if you can keep the sword, then bosses become a joke because they didn't think that anybody would have the sword to beat the bosses. And so the console version is just a completely different bear in terms of that. This is the only auto-scroll section of the game. Almost, this is going to be the last room before the witch, who is the penultimate boss of the game. Extra hearts. And this is another boss that is not much of a challenge. Well, we were doing great until we weren't. I think we're still going to be ahead of our old time, though. So really see if I can burn through this. And this is the section of the game where there are no checkpoints, so I really want to play carefully. Ow! See, I shouldn't have died there. Oh my gosh. I'm going to take a damage there because I did that wrong. This is where it really gets tough. See, that's doing it right there, and then you can jump off there. See, it's like I only took one hit there and made it through. It's just very inconsistent as a player. It's sort of the problem. And that's a place I really don't know how to avoid taking a hit. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Okay, so I think we've got 3 rooms left. I think this is the gondola. No, it's not. We've still got one more before the gondola. Ah, just missed it by a second. Okay, now we've got the gondola. Okay, so this is sort of like an auto-scroller, but it'll stop scrolling if you fall off the gondola. Yeah, it really sucks to die on this level. Thanks, Happy. So much depends on the final boss, really. Ah, that's exactly where I got tripped up last time. Man. Whew! Just going to take a death immediately. And let's see if we can do this in one shot. One shot! We're not doing well at dodging that when we get up top. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, I've just got to get out of the way of those gavels up top. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time dodging them. I swear, you know. Got him. And time. Whew. 103.46. I believe that is a new record. Thank you so much for everybody who's joined today. Thank you, Dunk. Happy, thanks for being here for me. Picard, Adam, Pets, everybody who is involved. I'll be back at just about an hour and a half to 2 hours to film Amigas. So one more time, this is the NTSC version of the Addams family, played on original hardware on the Commodore Amiga. It's an Amiga 1000, outfitted with a Rejuvenator board and a Parciero II. So thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to awkwardly slide out of the frame to stop the stream.